With the Mario Sunshine courses officially ranked in my previous Mario video, it's now time to take a deeper look into what makes those courses so fun, the individual shine sprites. I recently did this exact video but with Super Mario 64, and my same rules apply here. I split every shine into a list from S tier to F tier based on my personal criteria. Do I find them fun to complete? Do they make good use of Sunshine's unique features? Are some shines repetitive? And I always include a healthy dose of what I like to call my gut vibes, because sometimes you can't quantify what you like with specific missions, so expect a couple of irrational out there picks you won't agree with higher in the list. I'm Billy S, and if you want to see me cover the Mario Galaxy games, can we get this video to 750 likes? F tier. 120 to 118, Serena Beach, blue coins. Super Mario Sunshine has a mechanic where every course has their own set of blue coins to collect. The regular levels have 30, the hub world has 20, and Corona Mountain has 10. You trade 10 blue coins for a shine sprite at the Raccoon Trading Post in Delfino Plaza, so since Serena Beach has 30 blue coins to collect, that translates to 3 shines. The problem with the Mario Sunshine blue coins though is that while some of the blue coins will appear regardless of the shine you select, there are quite a handful per course that only spawn in particular episodes, and many of them are found in obtuse locations you'd only collect by randomly spraying just about everything you can think of. It's very... If you're a kid, you're more likely to find blue coins because you're not keyed into collecting them, you just want to spray everything with the funny hose. But as an adult, you're kind of a bit more methodical, and thus you're less likely to find them somehow. Serena Beach lands at the very bottom of my ranking simply because on top of needing to load into the various different episodes to get specific blue coins, the levels also have a lot of mandatory loading screens depending on whether you want to go to the hotel or the casino, which slows the collection experience down. I totally knew to spray this one bookshelf for a blue coin, or this painting, or this fountain in the casino, but only during episode 4, not episode 5. I'm being sarcastic here. Combining the blue coins, which already aren't my favorite part of Sunshine, with Serena Beach, which is one of my least favorite courses in the game, and it's no wonder it lands this low. 117 to 115, Noki Bay, blue coins. Despite me loving Noki Bay, I can't say the blue coins are a particular highlight. A large majority of them are hidden within those sliding blocks that you have to spray to reveal, with a vast cluster on the western cliffs. I feel like it's so easy to miss a coin or two because of just how many cubbyholes there are, and I didn't find that grind very entertaining. Especially when a lot of the coins require you to do a lot of vertical traveling, intense parkouring, whereas other blue coin levels are a little more lenient on just how much crazy stuff you have to actually do. I could see my cons for this set of shines being someone else's pros, to be fair, we all value different things. I just don't value spraying random blocks on a cliff or struggling to get a ledge grab to work so I can get some of the more obtuse coins, like this one in this cliff corner, or the one in the cubbyhole over here where Mario can physically get tired before he reaches it. 114 to 112, Pianta Village, blue coins. Spoilers, a majority of the blue coin shines will be towards the bottom of their respective tiers, but this is the last of the 3 shine blue coin variants for the F tier. Pianta Village is a fun course, I love the layout, I think the various episodes are quite fun. One of the shines even has you get 8 free blue coins from spraying down Piantas, which should almost certainly move this into D or C tier. But there is a single blue coin on this course that I just think is complete BS. Is there a hint in game that tells you to spray the moon on this exact platform where you find the mayor during Goopy Inferno? Because, yes, that spawns a blue coin. There's also the daytime signpost near the start of the level that I would never have sprayed without a guide. Am I petty for ranking this in F tier for 2 blue coins that some would argue are kind of iconic and a little one of a kind? Yes. Yes, I am. 111, red coin winnings in the casino. We'll touch upon the casino level later soon enough, but this secret shine has you needing to recomplete episode 4 of Sirena Beach so you can reach the red coin switch in the secret stage. The actual red coin portion of the mission is fine, fun, simple enough, but getting here is the real pain. You either have to do a lengthy quest involving slot machines and flippy tiles, again I will cover this when I get to the secret of Casino Delfino, or you can do what I did and simply learn the speedrun strat to skip all the luck and clip behind the curtain and into the secret stage pipe. It's surprisingly simple. Backflip wall kick off of this wall, hover to the curtain to grab an invisible ledge, hop up, lobster walk as far right as you can, then jump, hover behind the curtain, and dive. If you did it right, into the pipe you go. But the fact that for 100% completion you have no choice but to do this episode again, when the first time was already kinda annoying, is grounds for being low on this list. 110, red coins in Boo's Big Mouth. Oh look, the other Sirena Beach secret shine. This time, specifically, it's here because of the red coin mission. This red coin right here above the sand especially. For some reason, I really struggled with this secret stage on the revisit. I found the timer very intense, I don't like the layout in the slightest, and some of the red coins, like the one beneath all the watermelons, can be a real pain to obtain. The route doesn't feel cohesive or purposeful like some of the much better red coin shines in the game, and also, yes, I game overed a few times trying to beat this shine, meaning I had to do the red boo parkour up to the entrance, more than I care to admit. 109, Yoshi's Fruit Adventure. Nintendo failed to explain the mechanics of Yoshi in Mario Sunshine, to the point where he is severely underutilized and shoehorned in for various mechanics. This Yoshi specifically requires a durian, which you can only kick, and you can only get fruit from these specific taps. But the fruit can bounce into the ocean or onto a lower level, and only one fruit of each type can be spawned in at a time, so if a durian lands down below, you have to kick it into the ocean to despawn it before you can spawn another one. And you have to do this every single time Yoshi falls into the water because he despawns if he gets wet. Yoshi's spit can create platforms from enemies, starting with horizontal movement, which you can use to get to the shine. But the game never explains that eating a green coconut from this tree midway through Yoshi's course will change the properties of his spit to create vertical moving platforms instead, which is so much more useful. If this was explained, this shine would rank in D tier, because it's still not the most fun, but I'd at least know what I'm doing. But the game doesn't explain a thing, and it's obtuse enough that when I had to look up the solution because I was struggling, I discovered a large amount of the player base also hadn't realized the coconut trick either. I hope this informed some of you, genuinely. 108, Corona Mountain Blue Coins. One more blue coins for the F tier, and it's the final dungeon of the game. It ranks a tad higher than the rest purely because you only have to collect 10 blue coins, and one of them is a gimme on the main path. The other 9 though require you to carefully fire your flood to navigate a boat through perilous rocks above the lava. Boat controls with Flood are horrendously sensitive, so you have to use the tiniest pushes to get all these coins. Patience is a virtue, and 100% speedrunners probably hate this shine. It took me a good 7 to 10 minutes in the lava boat, because if it makes contact with the walls or the rocks, it'll automatically sink, sending you to the very start of Corona Mountain. And the punishment for failure here is death. No other blue coins outside of maybe the Sandbird have a registered kill count, I can tell you that. 107, Pachinko. You didn't think we'd end F tier without talking about the infamous Pachinko stage, did ya? While players have fully labbed out how to reach every red coin now, with which inputs to use for each launch, that doesn't change the fact that the physics are still broken, and even with perfect inputs, you might still slide in a way you don't expect and miss your target. This would be fine if you were just dropped back to the start of the stage, but missing a single slot of the Pachinko machine sends you into the void, forcing you to restart the entire level from scratch. Me collecting every coin and then just barely missing the hole for the shine is my 13th reason, a perfect encapsulation of this wonderful course as you're seeing. And yet, I kinda like that it's so awful in an iconic sort of way. D tier. 106 to 104, Gelato Beach Blue Coins. Now we're moving into the tier of blue coin shines where I feel all of them could reasonably be found, but I still think a lot of them suck. Yoshi eating a beehive and all the bees to spawn blue coins is done in a few levels, and I just don't care for it. I think the beach blue coins are evil since it's a massive beach and you're liable to miss the spots where the blue coins are if you're not paying attention to where you're spraying, and I definitely think the toughest blue coin is the bring the fruit to the grinder on the water one, if only because most players won't think to do that on their own. Also gonna shout out the annoyance of the blue coins that swim away from you in the ocean. If they swim under the terrain, which can be possible, you have to wait for them to come back out, and that's kinda dumb. But aside from those, the blue coins aren't egregious, and I even like the ones in the Sandbird stage because they come with their own little clouds you can regroup on. 103 to 101, Rico Harbor Blue Coins. While I do consider Rico Harbor to be one of the best courses in Mario Sunshine, that doesn't translate to the blue coins. 3 can only be found in Episode 1, hidden in odd spots like the cage of this ship or beneath the goop by Rico Tower. One of the 2 Yoshi blue coins requires you to kill an enemy you'll almost certainly forget exists, and a lot of the parkour-based blue coins you find in the level are fine. They do encourage you to get out of your comfort zone and learn your movement, but I'd rather just be focusing on the main shines and not these extra collectibles. They break my flow, even if they're not the worst things ever. 100 to 99, Delfino Plaza Blue Coins. Delfino Plaza lands the highest of the blue coin shines in D tier, purely because there are only 20 coins to collect and most of them are very tame. Spray graffiti, smash some crates, shoot a bird, explore the sewers. The only real offenders are the fruit basket coins, which require you to deliver 3 of each fruit to various piantas across the square, and only the durian is truly a struggle, as you have to kick them across the canal to reach their specific pianta. There's also one you can only get in the post-game, hidden in a house on the Delfino airship, which is a little sneaky, but there are no gotcha evil blue coins here, just some rewards for a hard day's work. 98, Red Coins of the Dirty Lake. The second secret shine of Bianco Hills, I actually quite like this stage on the regular, but with the red coin timer, I find the auto-scrolling cube that you have to ride to be very tedious. I just don't enjoy being on a timer when I'm dealing with a gameplay mechanic that has a set speed that you can't skip past or alter. I also think the red coins in the last portion with the red and blue flip platforms are way more interesting than the red coins you collect at the start of the stage, and I think overall the other red coin shines in the game have more interesting routing and concepts. 97, Shine Sprite in the Sand. The most basic of shines, you can get this one before even entering your first course. Turn to the beach in Delfino Plaza, spray this spot to reveal a shine icon, and the sprite will spawn on a nearby island chain that you have to parkour over to get to it. Simple, quick, blink and you'll miss it. It does exactly what it needs to do, but it doesn't really go beyond. 96, the Gold Bird. On the island with the Yoshi pipe in the hub, there is a gold bird. Shoot it with water, and it will eventually spawn a shine, which can then be collected in the same island chain as the previous entry. I just don't like shooting the birds, it feels finicky, and having the shine appear so far away from where you likely shot said bird is pretty damn cruel. 95, a golden bird. The same as the last entry, except now we're in Noki Bay, and the shine doesn't fly off into the ether once you spawn it. I rank this one higher because you actually have to do a little platforming to reach the area with the bird, and I think the view of Noki Bay from up here is one of the most gorgeous moments in the entire game. 94, Chain Chomp's Bath. I generally like Pianta Village, but some of the shines are pretty big misses. The giant chain chomp is one such case, because to get it in the bath near the back of the level, you only want to douse it with water when it's close to that location. Dousing it anywhere else and trying to pull it won't work because the chain chomp will recover too quickly. So you're really just waiting in a single spot of the level for the chain chomp to make a very long loop around the map, which is wasted time doing nothing in my humble opinion. 93, Red Coins of the Pirate Ships. Pinner Park's main red coin mission has always been the bane of my existence. I can't parkour over those swinging ships for the life of me. Once I'm on the green rating afterwards, I feel great, fantastic even, but collecting those early red coins and a couple blue coins as well is quite the ordeal for me. And also getting shocked by these enemies right before the end of the red coin path can knock you down to the floor of the park, and that cracks my soul a little bit every time it happens. 92. The Secret of Casino Delfino. I told you we'd talk about this shine sooner or later. Casino Delfino is behind two separate loading zones in Sirena Beach. Once inside, you have to play two different slots and get 777s on both. One has you rolling 3 slots simultaneously, while the other has you rolling 3 slots individually. Either way, you are at the mercy of Lady Luck. Then you have to solve a flip puzzle with the daintiest of water spurts, working your way from the top to bottom to access the easy secret stage and its shine. Except this flip puzzle fucking sucks, and I tried every method under the sun, but none worked for more than a few seconds at a time. I don't care. Being trapped behind this hellscape of a puzzle for progression is what made me learn the speedrun skip, and I will be using that in all my future playthroughs to ignore the slots entirely. 91. Il Piantissimo's Surf Swim. In Noki Bay, we have to race Il Piantissimo to the flagpole on the far shore, but we can simply get punched there from this platform and avoid any strategy with the race altogether. I said it in my last Sunshine video, but invert the race route so we're climbing up the cliffs instead, and you have a way more interesting dynamic that the developers refused to go with. 90. Gelato Beach 100 coins. The 100 coin shines are back, and I still don't particularly like them. In Mario Sunshine, difficulty here stems from which episode per course has the best amount of coins, and Gelato Beach is oddly lacking in the moolah. I picked episode 8 because you can pop the watermelons strewn about for quite a few coins before they start running dry, and you can bring the smaller watermelons to the shack for a small payout. Then it's collecting any coins on platforms and spraying cataquacks to make up the money. If I wanted to simulate me searching through my sofa for 50 cents, I'd just get out of my chair and go do it right now. 89. Pianta Village. The best episode for coin grinding is Yoshi's episode 5, as you can eat the bees of the beehive for coins per kill, on top of the regular coins you'll find throughout the village and its underside. However, I found myself running out of coins and being forced to enter the Chuckster sub-area to finish this shine, and the shine spawns quite far into the secret stage if you collect your 100th coin in there, so you might get Chuckstered. For that experience I had, that's why it's gonna have to rank this low for me. 88. Pinner Park 100 coins. Now I'm knocking a 100 coin shine for being too hilariously easy. Episode 2, the Monty Mole will fire bullet bills at you that explode into coins. These are infinite, so you can grind all 100 coins while standing still and letting nature take its work. I don't want these shines to be too difficult, but I also don't want them to be mind-numbingly easy either. I want a 100 coin shine that's just right. 87. Red Coin Chucksters. Ironically, this shine ranks this low because of the time limit over the Chucksters themselves. You can actually skip most of them with Flood, and you only need to chat to the one that throws you straight up. Talk to him head on, you will be fine. But collecting all those red coins in the allotted time was brutal for me, especially the one up above on the hidden tightrope. I can't explain it, but my depth perception truly failed me multiple times. An infamous shine, but I don't hate it, hence D tier and not F tier, but I'm not clamoring for a rematch. 86. The Watermelon Festival. You knew it was coming, another infamous Super Mario Sunshine sprite. You have to guide the biggest watermelon from the amphitheater atop the beach to the floating juice bar on the water. But the watermelon will pop at the slightest pressure, and cataquacks are everywhere. But if you use the Dune Buds, you can kill the cataquacks on the beach leading to the pier, and you can even lead the enemies on the upper cliff down onto the beach to do away with them in the exact same fashion. As it turns out, you can clear a path quite safely, but it takes a lot of setup and it's not the most fun to do. I'm more lenient on this shine than most, but it's still definitely a D tier. 85. Secret of the Village Underside. The Yoshi portion of this shine is kinda irrelevant. It's so easy to go to the fruit tree, unlock Yoshi, and parkour to the secret stage entrance. They even give you a bunch of 1-ups, but I didn't fail once. The Chucksters though, I've said it in the past, if this is a repeat playthrough, they aren't that bad because you should know which are the correct ones to speak to for your routing. But if you're a first-time player, the Chucksters are assholes who will launch you as they see fit, so for the love of God, just line up correctly when you talk to them. I've seen a lot of players rage in their footage of this shine, but they're also clearly just talking on a bad line when chatting to the Chucksters. Get the protractor out, tape it to your monitor. I believe in the you that believes in the Chuckster that will throw you to the shine. Hey, real quick, just before we continue this video, have you considered hitting that subscribe button? I assume you're enjoying it if you've watched up to this point, and we are trying to reach 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year, so every subscription helps, and it would genuinely be awesome to reach that goal. So if you want to see more Mario content, and you want to see more of this, then hit that subscribe button, and let's get on with C tier. 84 to 82, Pinner Park Blue Coins. My second favourite set of blue coin shines, Pinner Park manages to land their blue coins in C tier because, looking through the list, a majority of them are telegraphed to the player, with the only exception being the 2 hidden on the beach beneath the sands. But one of Pinner Park's episodes on the beach has Yoshi, and you have to spray the sand anyway to find the right fruits to feed him, meaning you have a much higher chance of finding these blue coins naturally. 6 of them come from episode 2, where you have to use homing bullet bills to break these baskets, which is really fun. There are also a handful of blue butterflies for Yoshi to eat, both inside and outside the park, and tons of graffiti and parkour-based blue coins in the park that aren't that difficult and feel just right. Special shoutouts go to the X and Triangle graffiti challenges, which have you rushing from one spot to the other to collect the blue coin before they despawn. I had no complaints collecting these, and that is a rare feat. 81 to 79, Bianco Hills Blue Coins. My favourite blue coin shines go to Bianco Hills, as correct me if I'm wrong, it is completely possible to collect all 30 blue coins in the stage in a single episode, episode 8. You do need Yoshi for the last 2, a blue butterfly and a beehive respectively, but every other coin can be grabbed before you've ever set foot into a different course. Despite having a couple of spray this random spot to make a blue coin appear moments, I think the locations aren't that bad. I rag on this one on the balcony, but I could see younger players randomly spraying this. Same with the top of this palm tree, as you could spawn the blue coin while hovering across it as part of a platforming route. This stage even has a Pianta that needs cleaning, but depending on the episode you're in, he'll be in a completely different spot each time. That's a fun little piece of variety. I'm shocked none of the other courses did that concept once themselves. But to be completely real, Bianco Hills lands at the top here because it was my first blue coin stage, before the concept had worn itself thin. It still felt novel to me as I collected them, even though I had to follow a guide for the sake of recording time. 78, Serena Beach, 100 coins. Now to kill the rest of the 100 coin shines. Serena Beach was fine, episode 4 is the best choice since you have 3 areas to loot, the outside beach with its various hidden coins across the shoreline, the hotel where you can spray the torches for coin drops, you can head to the attic to find coins in the vents, or you can take the route through the various guest rooms as some of them also contain extra money. Then you hop into the casino and spray the slot machines and the big slots on the wall for the last few coins to wrap it up. It's still tedious, but not egregious, so bottom of C tier feels correct. 77, Rico Harbor 100 coins. If you like parkour, you'll like routing this 100 coin shine in Rico Harbor. You can get 38 coins in the underground sewer system, there are coins strewn across the various walkways and high platforms of the course, and you can jump on the bloopers to try and collect their drops, though it's a toss-up as to whether the coin will actually land on the railing or fall down into the water. I didn't have any issues bouncing around Rico Harbor, though like most of this type of shine, by the time you reach your last few coins, you will begin to grasp at straws. Mario Sunshine's too stingy with visible coins, throw a couple more out there, don't be shy, you know you want to. 76, Bianco Hills, 100 coins. Similar to the blue coins, I think Bianco Hills being my first 100 coin shine set a tone for the game. These shines aren't as easy as SM64's 100 coin stars, but with patience and routing, you can still manage. I liked learning the spin spray for the flowers in the town, or defeating the Pokeheads by smashing them into the walls, riding the lily pad around the lake, or collecting coins from the bridge grating leading to the windmill. It was a simple yet relaxing affair. I still had to engage with a lot of Sunshine's mechanics, but I never felt strapped for cash, shall we say. 75. Delfino Airship Dilemma. This is the first shine you collect in the game at the airstrip. After collecting Flood, you use your newfound water powers to defeat the goopy piranha plant terrorizing the citizens. It's a perfectly serviceable tutorial shine that does exactly what it needs to in order to teach the player the game's mechanics. 74. Turbo Dash. A few of the Delfino Plaza shines are going to show up here in C tier because while fun, they are incredibly simple. Turbo Dash asks you to equip the turbo nozzle and dash through this doorway near the spawn, breaking the barrier and getting a shine in return. Good fun. 73. Lighthouse Roof. Once you unlock the rocket nozzle, you can jump up to the top of the lighthouse, boost into the air, and deliver a fiery ground pound to spawn in the shine directly above you. It's a very basic use of the rocket nozzle, but I like it. 72. Clean the East Bell. With the rocket nozzle, boost up to the dirty bell on the east side of the plaza and spray it clean with the spray nozzle. Then you rocket your way to the top of the building where the shine spawns in. Similar to the previous entry, but you actually get to clean something first, which makes it feel more thematically appropriate to Sunshine's story. 71. Sandy Shine Sprite. The secret shine of Gelato Beach, you have to spray a specific dune bud, which will cause some stairs in the ground to open up. Spray the wall within, and a shine icon will appear, spawning the shine up at the amphitheater. I don't hate this shine, but I also don't think it's anything special, though the fact you can collect it whenever you want is pretty cool compared to most secret shines, and I'll definitely take this over Noki Bay's Golden Bird. 70. Soak the Sun. At the top of Pianta Village during the day, you can spawn a secret shine by spraying the sun from this platform atop the biggest tree. I think this is a fair shine, as the platform you have to stand on is painted with a shine sprite icon, and from there, the concept of looking upwards into the sun isn't the most far-fetched of ideas, especially this late into the game. And you'll notice this location because you have to come here during the Red Coin Festival episode. Good design, developers. 69. Dunebud's Sandcastle Secret. While I like the first secret stage of Gelato Beach with the falling sand as you have to keep moving down the course to eventually reach the shine, feeling thematically appropriate with the main course too, I don't like that this is the first shine you collect in Gelato. You spray a dune bud, spawn a sandcastle, and boom, secret stage. You barely spend a minute in the actual course for your introductory shine, and I just think that's a bad call. You want people to see your new level and explore it on a first shine or star in a Mario game. At least that's my game design philosophy. 68. The Hotel Lobby Secret. While I prefer the secret stage of the prior entry compared to the Hotel Lobby secret stage and its weird mix of blocks that don't seem to go together, I have to admit I prefer the Red Boo parkour to the sandcastle thing we did in Gelato, and the more I sprayed these ghosts for platforms, the more I realized you don't actually need most of them to make it to the entrance of the stage. Get better at platforming and the game rewards you with a quicker pace. I really like that, but there are better secret stage shines out there, and I can't wait to meet them.
67!
Il Piantissimo's Crazy Climb. At least we're going upwards in this race across the village. Il Piantissimo wants us to race up to the big tree at the far end of the course, but if you know how to slide across the floor with Flood, it's not even a race. I know they were trying to recapture the magic of Koopa the Quick, but again, these races just feel too easy and don't really involve much actual platforming. My biggest fear was potentially walking off the tree after spawning the shine by mistake. 66 and 65, Boxing Clever. In Delfino Plaza, there are two shines you can collect by entering this building and smashing some crates for the Pianta inside. Boxing Clever 1 comes in 66th, while Boxing Clever 2 and its trickier layout lands in 65th. I like that either way, you have to master side flipping to get on the box stacks, and the second one is quite difficult to do in the time limit. 64 to 58, the Shadow Mario chases. I decided to bunch all 7 Shadow Mario chases together because it's the same concept. You have to chase him through each of the 7 main levels, spraying him with Flood until he falls over. Did you know he only takes damage from Flood while moving, meaning if you spray him while he's standing still, it doesn't do anything? I learned that one from a Morph 23 video. Anyway, my individual rankings go like this. Pianta Village, Shadow Mario in last, because there's not nearly enough verticality for Shadow Mario to escape you with. They have to make the chase hard by having him leave goop everywhere instead. Then, Gelato Beach Shadow Mario, because most of the stage is quite open, you're likely to knock him down very quickly, even if you do end up chasing him over that first cliff. Sirena Beach is next. Chasing him through the hotel is a funny image, but in practice the camera is not your friend and he will continuously find ways to lose you as you chase. Bianco Hills lands in the middle. I know it's possible to beat him before even getting to the bottom of the opening hill, which is kinda funny, but it's most people's first Shadow Mario and he does enough running around the village to make you work for it. Rico Harbor is next. I just like chasing him across the tricky walkways, but I fully get why someone would hate this specific chase, because falling into the water and getting back up onto the platforms can take a lot of time, and the narrow beams are quite easy to slip off. Pinner Park Shadow Mario is next. While the overall layout is quite flat, you have enemies on ground level to distract you, and various rides that get in the way of perfect spray nozzle shots, making this encounter surprisingly tricky. And Noki Bay's Shadow Mario is my favourite. Go figure, the one where he shows you various ways to climb the cliffside is the best chase. He makes you work for it if you're not quick at catching him at the start, and he kind of teaches you various routing because he's using your own moveset. I really respect that. I won't pretend these shines are all amazing, but they are memorable, and in the Mario Sunshine randomizer, I can't deny how hype it is to run into a Shadow Mario shine as they're needed for completion. 57. Il Piantissimo's Sand Sprint. The first of the Il Piantissimo shines is also the best of the three. From the beach, you have to climb your way up to the amphitheater. Look, I didn't say it was groundbreaking, it's still in C tier, just it was the best route for a quick race and has a modicum of challenge unlike the others. 56. Red Coin Field. Hidden on the west of Delfino Plaza, only accessible via rocket nozzle, the Red Coin Field is a secret stage where you have to find 8 red coins in a field of extremely tall grass. I love the coin hidden in a secret compartment below the stage, or the ones that require you to defeat the Pokeheads to spawn. There's also just an energy to this level that feels so out of place, but in a way I really enjoy, it's kind of a vibe. 55. Red Coins in the Yoshi Go Round. This isn't my favourite of the secret stages, but the Yoshi aesthetic itself is actually quite cute. But the red coins you have to collect only amplify my thoughts, that the first half is really fun, but that odd platforming segment in the second half just feels so out of place by comparison. It's not easy to spot all the red coins and led to a couple of deaths because I found some of the platforming a little tricky to line up, but I'm sure with some practice I could find this shine a lot easier and thus a bit more fun on future runs. 54. Super Slide. Hidden in a green pipe on the island chain east of Delfino Plaza, this secret stage asks you to slide to the bottom, avoiding the various pitfalls while keeping your momentum. That is, until you reach the shine, as you'll need to either aim yourself directly into it, or find a way to stop yourself before you go flying off of the edge, forcing you to repeat the slide all over again. It's fun, it's cute, it's C tier. 53. Red Coins in a Bottle. I'm a lot more lenient with the Noki Bay underwater movement than some of the fans of Sunshine apparently. Yes, I did my research, but this red coin shine is pretty fun and simple to boot. You boost around the bottle collecting the red coins. I like the one atop the bubble geyser that you fling upwards to reach, or the one hidden in the ruins at the very bottom. I also like this shine as a quick tutorial. You're not going to drown in here, so you have all the time to practice your underwater movement before some of the tougher shines later on in Noki. 52. The Wilted Sunflowers. One of 2 shines that take place on Pinner Park's main beach, you have to kill the Snoozer Koopas who are feeding off of the sunflowers. Spray them with Flood, avoid their crush attack, and then ground pound them. Do this to every Snoozer Koopa to spawn the shine. It's not hard, and I don't really see how this shine relates to the theme of Pinner Park, but on its own, it's harmless enough. Really happy to see the sunflower from Plants vs. Zombies get into another game. 51. Noki Bay 100 Coins. The penultimate 100 coin shine, Noki Bay lands far above its compatriots for simply having a fun set of coins to collect. In episode 6, there is a massive string of 50 coins in the water that you can either swim around or use the level's turbo nozzle to collect. There's a trail of 10 coins leading to a blue coin near the waterfall, there's a yellow button atop said waterfall that also spawns coins, you can also find more in the tunnel leading up to the golden bird, and from there you can clear up any extra coins just by general exploration. What can I say? Noki Bay, at least in episode 6, felt incredibly viable. 50. The red coin fish. As a reward for saving Noki Bay from pollution, you descend into the home of the Noki and chase a fish made of coins. I actually like this shine a lot, and how the creature will disperse before reforming shortly after. It's quite a chill shine, the red coins aren't that difficult to collect, and if you really want, you can use this shine as another way to get the 100 coin shine from our previous entry. Do you see how many coins there are in this underwater room? As long as you get a couple before you come down here, you're gonna be golden. 49. Goopa Blooper breaks out. Our first encounter with the Goopa Blooper, you have to make it to the upper part of the harbour to fight the boss in a series of crates. Most new players will parkour around the lower half of the bay, reaching an elevator to take them up to the boss, but if you're me, you can just side flip or spin jump from the smokestack of this ship onto the Rico Harbour railings, skipping all of the parkour around the bay entirely. I sort of wish this fight wasn't here though. We fight him again in episode 5, and I think that encounter is a lot more interesting. What we have though is a really fun boss fight that requires a lot of strategy to defeat, though you'll see from my footage I kind of low-key forgot how to beat him for a little while. 48. PT Piranha strikes back. The second encounter with PT in Bianco Hills is one of the most in-depth shines in the level. It asks you to climb to the top of the village, fire at PT to wake him up, and then take him down in a boss fight where he's flying around terrorizing everyone. He even has a new tornado attack he can whip up. But this shine tends to drag a little bit, and given we just fought PT a few shines prior, having to suddenly refight him again so soon feels a bit jarring. Had he been refought in a different course entirely, I'd likely be changing my tune, but I personally prefer his first encounter, simpler though it may have been. 47. The Yoshi Go Round Secret. Ending off C tier, we have the Yoshi Go Round Secret. I like that you have to access the secret stage by first finding the correct Yoshi fruit, as they're all hidden quite well throughout Pinner Park, but also how you need to change Yoshi to an orange color to actually activate the warp. Once inside, the first half of the stage is a Yoshi Go Round, with the egg platforms rotating in circular patterns you need to jump over. This part is great, I love the timing jumps, no complaints. I just don't like the second half. The block placement feels random and there for the sake of platforming, as opposed to feeling natural. I hate when these stages have to ferry you over to platforming 2 with a moving block like an auto-scroller. Just build this thing closer to the Yoshi egg platforming, my fucking god. Personal bias aside though, it's a well-designed secret stage, and I know the Yoshi iconography is iconic to Yoshi's Island fans, I just don't have that nostalgia, I'm afraid. B tier. 46. Red coins in the cannon. Returning to this secret stage is pretty easy since you just have to refight Monty Mole, and once inside, the red coins are really fun. 6 of them are obtained in this starting area with deteriorating platforms, the challenge of figuring out which red coins to grab, when to use your hover so you don't fall into the void, and doing all this on a time crunch is exactly what these red coin missions should be, and bouncing up to the last 2 red coins on the upper area can be tense when you're low on time and you need to snap them up fast. 45. The Secret of the Dirty Lake. My favourite thing about this shine is actually using the lily pad to boost over to the cave behind the lake. Unlike the boats in later levels, the lily pad actually moves like it should with Flood's momentum, and once inside, the secret stage is pretty fun too. You have moving star platforms, a couple tricky jumps you need to make floodless. I'm still not crazy about the auto-moving cube, but it's more fun when you're not on a red coin time crunch. And that final section without Flood is actually quite nerve-wracking, because one false move will flip you right into the void. 44. Mario Toss. On one of the rooftops of Delfino Plaza is a Pianta who is secretly a chuckster. You have to line yourself up with a shine inside a building, and if correct, the chuckster will launch you directly into said building to collect the shine. This is just a funny collectible, that's all you need to be in B tier, honestly. 43. Clean the West Bell. Similar to Clean the East Bell from the last tier, you have to spray the West Bell in order to clean it and spawn the shine. Except, this shine spawns in a cage, and the only way to access it is by using the sewer system to get to that specific spot. I really like this extra quirk of the shine, it introduces problem-solving elements, and introduces players to the sewer systems in the hub. 42. Red coins in the Coral Reef. Quite a self-contained red coin mission. You swim out to the Gelato Beach Coral Reef, where you can find 8 red coins under the water. Some of them are stationary and require you to dive down and grab them, while some move with schools of fish, so you have to time your movements to get them before they flee into the rocks. but the fact the coins can clip into the environment, forcing you to wait around, is the sole reason why this is low B tier. 41. Lily Pad Ride. Let's get the elephant out of the room. The whole sequence of needing to ride Yoshi all the way to the Lily Pad Island without him falling into the water or running out of juice is genuinely irritating. Not hard, but it takes so much time. If you genuinely want to rank this shine in D tier or even F tier because of that, I am fully on board with you. Do what you need to do, divas. But the Lily Pad ride itself, I heard so many horror stories over the years, and yet I never struggled with it. The trick is that you only want to move the lily pad with very minute flood bursts. The tiniest of trajectory changes will get you where you need to go, and the lily pad is very consistent between runs. If you can snag the 1-up mid-ride each time you pass by, you can get infinite attempts without resorting to cheese strats. Because of this, I found the whole experience quite fun. I weirdly look forward to this shine now, and personal bias, that's why it's up here in the top half of the list. That being said, Nintendo, why did you leave a green pipe at the very end of the level? None of the other secret stages have a green pipe that take you back to the hub and force you to re-enter the level all over again. Why is this one the exception? 40. The Sandbird is Born. Another controversial take. I like the Sandbird. The majority of the red coins can be grabbed right at the start of the stage, letting you focus entirely on not falling off for the rest of the ride. The blue coins in this stage can be a tad evil if you're collecting them too, but overall, the only difficult moment comes when the bird flips onto its side near the end. It only happens once though, and a good well-timed hover or careful movement is enough to survive, get that final red coin, and spawn the shine. 39. Road to the Big Windmill. The first shine of Bianco Hills is just nostalgic for me. You've got that opening water ramp you slide down, hopping onto the ropes so you can bounce out of the village and in the direction of the objective. It's just so satisfying to pull off. And then heading through the fields to the Goopy Piranha plant gets you a nice survey of the level. I do think this shine is a bit redundant, given the next shine in the episode takes you down the exact same path but further. But this is more of one of my vibe check placements. There's just something about it that speaks to me, and I can't explain it beyond that. I think I just like Bianco Hills for some reason. 38. King Boo Down Below. Boss fights being so rare in 64 made me so excited to see what Sunshine could do to spice things up, and King Boo in the casino is entertaining. You have to throw spicy peppers at him to make him corporeal, allowing you to then throw regular fruit to damage him. The fruit hitbox can be a bit wonky, and technically the fight is randomized due to a slot machine mechanic, but in my run the cycles lined up pretty nicely, so I wasn't there for longer than needed, and the theming is just really fun. Definitely lends itself to B tier while reminding me of the Kingdom Hearts Oogie Boogie fight. Funny how both those games released in the same year with such similar boss styles. 37. Red Coins on the Water. Ignoring the silliness that is actually collecting the shine at the end of this episode, as you have to actually jump with the blooper to reach it on the dock, I think the red coin collection on the equivalent of a jet ski is awesome. You can tailor your speed to whichever blooper you pick. Some of the red coins require you to weave through pillars and boats to provide a bit of challenge, but the timer is lenient enough that you won't feel too pressured and can just enjoy zipping through the water. I'm glad the bloopers got brought out of the main harbour and weren't just relegated to their one secret zone. 36. Delfino Plaza, 100 coins. The best 100 coin shine in the game is the hub. A majority of the coins can be collected through the various sewer systems running throughout the town, which will get you a very high amount. Then, as long as you're doing this in the post-game, you can go to the Delfino airstrip by paying 10 of your coins, but the profit you make back from the amount of coins they've laid out in that area is insane. Delfino Plaza's 100 coin shine is easy, but not boring easy like Pinner Park's bullet bills. It actually requires you to do some legwork and engage with the game's mechanics. That and the hub is just extremely fun to explore as you go around collecting more coins. 35. The Hillside Cave Secret. The first secret stage of Super Mario Sunshine, I like that it takes a bit of strategy to actually reach it, whether you're taking the tightrope path beneath the bridge, or the wall around the right side of the level, and once inside, they throw all the different moving platforms at you to get used to floodless life. The obstacles all seem very simple on paper, but in practice, I died so many times with those brown square platforms moving up and down and left and right. They're so uneven, it really makes you patient as you work your way through. The moving cubes that try to knock you off and the rotating stars are also a neat set of obstacles, and I died on those star platforms a handful of times. It was quite embarrassing, but also a great learning moment. Remember to grab the one-up here, you'll thank me later, newbies. 34. Ely Mouth's Dentist. The true cause of Noki Bay's pollution, you have to swim into the ancestral home of the Noki and use your flood to clean the teeth of the eel down below. You have to avoid plaque bubbles and the eel's ability to spin around and gnash at you with its teeth, all while managing your health by collecting coins throughout the arena. It can be a little tricky to get the perfect alignment for cleaning each individual tooth, but I got there in the end without too much issue, and I like that some of the teeth end up cleaned while some are actually removed. It's a tiny visual touch that I think is very appealing. Underwater movement is still quite stilted, but they made it work here. Remember to brush your teeth indeed, Flood. 33. The Runaway Ferris Wheel. In order to save the Ferris wheel, you have to climb up the grated backside of the attraction. Here, you flip around panels, be careful of the Electro Koopas roaming around, and eventually get high enough to knock the Electro Koopa King off his perch beneath the wheel. I really like the platforming here and how you actually use Flood to push some of the platforms down so you can stand on them for a short while, and flipping back and forth so you can clear out the enemies is a super neat concept. I won't lie, I kinda sucked at this shine in my footage, I fell a lot, but that doesn't take away from how well put together I feel this platforming challenge actually is, and I'm glad the flip grates got some good use. 32. Goopa Bloopa Returns. The Rico Harbor boss fight is back, functioning exactly the same as the first encounter, but now on a much smaller arena above the ocean. You have to rocket nozzle up to the grating so you can flip onto the helipad, starting the fight. And this should have been the only Goopa Bloopa boss. The arena is correct for this fight, you have to watch your movement so you don't get batted off into the oil below, and there are coins beneath the arena in case you need to heal quickly. The tension this variant creates is exactly what I wanted. 31. Father and Sunshine. It's time to take on Bowser Jr. and his vacationing dad in their floating hot tub in the sky, but first we have to platform through Corona Mountain. It's one of the more janky final courses in a Mario game, but it still has the energy I'm looking for. Spike and fire traps, a careful boat ride to a rocket nozzle section into the clouds, it sets the tone. A tone that is then completely obliterated once we see Bowser bathing, and not in the way certain internet communities want. You have to rocket nozzle ground pound the 5 weak spots around the arena, which wins you the fight, but Bowser Jr. is firing bullet bills and Bowser is trying to burn you to a crisp. I tanked the damage because I knew I could beat him regardless, but it turns out I could have just sprayed Bowser's fire and put it out. Makes sense, don't know how I didn't realize that one sooner. It's a memorable climax to Sunshine. Cursed, but memorable, and very deserving of a high rank. 30. Red coins on the half shell. Our final B tier shine sees us heading back into Noki Bay's secret shell, where we have to collect a series of red coins as quickly as humanly possible. I love this secret stage, and collecting the red coins is unironically incredibly difficult. I barely managed, with just a few milliseconds left on the clock, but the rush you get from just barely succeeding is wild. Even with Flood, this area is a challenge of your platforming skills, and the red coins are nicely spaced out as well. But I admittedly ranked it just below A tier because I find the tightrope jumps to reach the shell a bit tedious on a second go around. A tier. 29. Turbo Track. Starting off the A tier, we get our own backs on the police because we use the turbo nozzle to blast through the very guards who falsely imprisoned us at the start of the game, entering the Turbo Track. The actual gameplay is as simple as pressing the jump button while holding the turbo nozzle down. There's no reason to ever move left or right, so you don't even need to touch the control stick. It's a really fun vibe, very reminiscent of some of the bonus areas above the clouds in Super Mario Odyssey, but the turbo track technically came first. 28. Red coins in the sandcastle. Collecting the red coins in the Sandcastle secret stage is a fantastic challenge, as the constantly crumbling platforms keeps you on your toes, especially when you collect the coins at the large sand sculpture sequence near the very end. It's all about navigation, side flipping, and route planning. Great aspects for any red coin mission, but especially here. 27. Fluff Festival Coin Hunt. While most of the red coins are themed around a bonus stage or a specific part of a given level, Pianta Village says, explore the entire course. What's interesting is that if you do Pianta Village as your final course in Sunshine, after the Shadow Mario mission, you'll be forced into completing Corona Mountain before you can continue to Episode 8, so you get this shine as part of the post-game. This makes the festival atmosphere a celebration of your achievements, adding to that sense of wonder as you find sneaky red coins throughout the level in surprisingly evil locations, underneath the very map, a beehive on the edge of the village, beneath a stack of boxes, and even atop the giant tree, leading to a gorgeous dandelion ride to the shine. Truly the vibiest of vibe shines. 26 and 25, Blooper Surfing. We've got both the blooper surfing shines here, with the main shine being 26th and the time-based shine being 25th. Racing the bloopers around the course is a real hoot, especially as you dodge obstacles and even jump over walls to make up the time to get that secret shine. I wish we had a second blooper surfing course in Noki Bay, for example, because I love this shine so much and I just wanted to see it expanded even further. 24. The Shine Gate Sparkle. The last of the main square shines, and it had to be Cleaning Isle Delfino's equivalent of the Eiffel Tower, the Big Ben, the Statue of Liberty, the Shine Gate. Is it hard? No. Rocket nozzle and spray nozzle are all you need. But is it satisfying to clean the biggest monument in the town and bring a bit of light back to the residents? It sure is. 23. Piantas in Need. Some of my favourite shines involve actually using Flood for its intended purpose, and going around Pianta Village to clean off the 10 villagers affected by Shadow Mario's meddling, while simple, is effective in making me feel like I'm endearing the Piantas to my side. It helps that 8 of them do give me blue coins, not the kids though, they're not allowed frivolous things like money. I do wish some of the Piantas were in harder to reach spots though, since they're all just on ground level, but hey, beggars can't be choosers. 22. Mecha Bowser Appears. Controversially, I found the roller coaster shines to be a lot more fun this playthrough than my first time around. Shooting Mecha Bowser with rockets while trying to keep track of the bullet bills is legitimately difficult, especially when the bullet bills start coming from both the front and the back of the tracks, but I brute forced my way through and managed the shine. This is also one of the only shines to actively progress the story, as it reveals the truth about Bowser Jr. and his reason for kidnapping Peach, which gets it just a couple of points. 21. Chain Chomplets Unchained. The first shine of Pianta Village sees us needing to cool off 3 chain chomplets who are burning up from a fever. Unlike the big chain chomp shine I covered way earlier in the video, I love that we just have to get the babies into the pool in the center of the map. This means we have a lot more freedom in when we douse the chomplets to cool them off, as well as getting to pull on their tails for a slingshot style aiming sequence. I love pinballing these babies into the water, so satisfying to help pets in need. 20. The Beach Cannon's Secret. The first secret stage of Pinna Park, I love both the secret stage itself and the way you enter it. You have to defeat a Monty Mole who is terrorizing the beach with cannons. By getting close, he'll throw out some bombs that you can spray and send right back his way, with 3 of them causing him to explode. Combo this with what I mentioned earlier about certain blue coins being accessible via his blasts, and this pre-secret stage sequence is a lot of fun. Once inside, we have to do floodless platforming over vanishing platforms, ensuring that we learn the fastest way for Mario to move so we don't time out and fall to our dooms. My only complaint is that the secret stage could have actually been a tiny bit longer. 19. The Red Coins of the Lake. There's just something about the red coin missions in Sunshine that works incredibly well. For Red Coins of the Lake, the way they're routed is the best part, directing you towards the rocket nozzle on the far side of the lake before taking you up the precarious tight ropes near the windmill. Admittedly, I struggled with the rocket nozzle here, but that's user error. The actual red coins, bouncing to collect them while avoiding the electric chaps, it just really flows nicely and feels like a safe way to learn about the rocket nozzle and a great way to cap off Bianco Hills. 18. Red Coins in Rico Tower. I'll cover my thoughts on the secret stage itself in a later entry, but the red coin mission works wonders because you're having to collect them while rotating platforms threaten to throw you into the void. But because you have Flood, you can effectively come back and make this course your bitch, which is also the appeal of the red coin secret shines. Speaking of, 17, red coins of the Hillside Cave. I can't help but admit that returning to that first hidden stage for the red coins is a real blast. Not only was it cathartic because I died so many times in here floodless, but the concept of placing some of the red coins on platforms you couldn't reach on your initial run is so dang smart. Red coin placements are on point throughout, and maybe it's just a case of first one in, last one out, but this secret shine stayed memorable to me throughout my entire playthrough. 16, roller coaster balloons. I didn't expect to love this shine as much as I did, but beating it on my first go around by using rocket trick shots to hit multiple balloons at the same time really helped. Once you get over the initial confusion with the camera, you can start to plot those shot locations that rack up balloon combos as the devs intended. I said it in my last video, and I'm gonna say it again here. Is this shine actually hard, or were you a child when you first attempted it? Audience, what do you think? 15, the Shell's Secret. Noki Bay's secret stage has you bouncing up tight ropes to reach the entrance atop a large spire. I admittedly find the climb quite tricky as some of the electrical enemies on the wires follow you as you move, which makes for some real strategic bounces to avoid them. But once inside, I found overcoming this secret stage to be incredibly satisfying. It's one of the hardest in the game, with precise jumps needed throughout. There were moments where I had to fully improvise to progress, because I couldn't always figure out the intended route, but I managed it and felt like an absolute god regardless. It's not my favourite secret stage, but it is the one that challenges me the most, and one of the hardest shines in Sunshine. 14, Wiggler Ahoy, full steam ahead. After the lackluster Wiggler boss in SM64, I'm glad that Sunshine's Green Wiggler got a bit more to do. He rampages across the beach, running past various dune buds as he goes. You have to make the dune buds grow right as Wiggler is above them, flipping the boss over so you can ground pound him. Do this 3 times and Wiggler changing his route after each pass to get the shine. It's a simple boss, yet feels weirdly Shadow of the Colossus coded in a way I can't explain. It's not my favourite boss fight in A tier though. That goes to 13, the Manta Storm. They really throw you in the deep end with Serena Beach, as the first shine is a boss fight against the Manta Ray. The boss swims through the ground, coating it with electric goop, and you have to clean it up by spraying the boss. However, spraying the Manta causes it to duplicate into smaller, faster variants, which then continue to duplicate over and over until they become tiny little babies that are a nightmare to clean. My strategy was to stand in the ocean, which worked wonders for keeping out of the way of some of the more dangerous spots. And at a certain point of damage, all the mantas turn red and begin to chase you down, so you're not forced to go around hunting for all the small babies, as they'll come to the firing squad themselves. Anytime I use Flood for its intended purpose is a great time, and those shines are always going to be rated highly. S tier. 12, Uncork the Waterfall. The first shine of Noki Bay has you needing to defeat a Monty Mole atop the waterfall, which can only be reached by climbing the nearby cliff sides. Goop boulders are rolling down the paths you need to take, so on top of climbing you have to clean your way forwards. What I love about this shine and this part of Noki Bay is the freedom you have in how you climb. You can take the water elevators, you can try wall jumping, spin jumping, or side flipping, whatever gets you the height to go higher. That playground is special, and Noki Bay allowing you to truly develop your movement skills while working towards a shine is exactly why it lands in the S tier. 11, Mirror Madness, Tilt Slam Bam. This should have been the first shine of Gelato Beach. Wiggler is sleeping atop the sandbird's egg, and the mirrors have been tilted out of alignment due to cataquacks. You have to jump on each of the 3 mirrors, spraying the cataquacks off balance so you can then ground pound from the opposite side and send them flying. It is tougher than it looks, and each mirror has an extra enemy to deal with, making you really work for this shine. We will also ignore the way that Wiggler collapses into pieces in a gory mess at the end. 10, Down with PT Piranha. This is our first ever PT Piranha appearance in all of Mario. I'm so happy the boss from Super Smash Bros. Brawl got his own game. It's similar to the King Bomb on the Summit Star from SM64, with you platforming across the whole level, then climbing up a large vertical structure to reach a boss fight. Using the hover nozzle to avoid the twisted windmill vines is a good tutorial, and the actual fight against Petey is pretty fun too. You have to wait for him to open his mouth, then make that bitch guzzle water till he falls over. A simple ground pound will damage him, and then you do the usual 3 times to win. Immediately starting your new Mario game with a boss fight with more depth than most of the bosses in the previous game is such a power move. 9. Red coins in the hotel. I know some are divided on the Serena Beach Hotel red coin mission, but I think the 5-minute timer is more than enough to collect all the coins. You just have to remember the route you took in the mysterious Hotel Delfino Shine and you'll find most of the red coins that way, with the others being out on various floors for pickup. It's a nice test of the level layout for me, doesn't overstay its welcome, but I may just enjoy it because I like running through the hotel and all its hidden paths. It's like exploring a mansion with secrets around every corner, even on a timer. 8. Red Coin Waterworks. In the post-game, you can return to the Delfino airship for one final red coin shine. Strap on the turbo nozzle, hit the button, and go! Because all you have to do is follow the vast trail of coins from the start to finish, avoiding obstacles and collecting the reds as you go. Weaving around boats and dashing through the water is so much fun. There's nothing more joyous than the sound of collecting coin after coin at max speeds. Just pure adrenaline and excitement. 7. The Secret of Rico Tower. The final secret stage, the Secret of Rico Tower, starts with you climbing up to the tower's entrance however you can, followed by you crossing a vast series of rotating platforms without Flood's help to protect you if you slip. The trick here is that you don't actually want to jump when switching sides. Just walk. Let the movement of the platform and your momentum carry you. This is also arguably the most iconic of these secret stages too, returning as an entire galaxy in Super Mario Galaxy 2, which proves that not only did I love it, but Nintendo also loved it. And I love Nintendo. 6. The Goopy Inferno. This is the only level in the game where Mario is completely floodless from start to finish. You have to find a way into the center of Pianta Village where the mayor is trapped in Goopy. It's a mission that is hard on a first run until you realize you can cheese it. Either use the gratings below the village, which you can punch to help you travel to the mushrooms and then up a hole leading to Flood, or you can just hop into the river, swim up to the center of the village, and use the extra water from when you hop out to clear away the goop, allowing you to reach the mayor without all that extra faffing about. It can be your angle or your devil, but whether you're doing it legit or cheesy, it's a lot of fun, and also a great statement on how messy Bowser Jr. has been towards the island. And so, we're at the top 5. If you've watched this far, a like would go a long way. You can also hype the video on mobile, and if you love what you've seen, consider spraying that subscribe button so we can hit that 50,000 sub goal by the end of 2026. Now let's reveal my top 5 shines in all of Super Mario Sunshine. 5. The Boss of Tricky Ruins. Is it a bit cursed that the best shine in Noki Bay doesn't even involve the water? Perhaps. You have to spray a series of square slots which cause a massive series of trick ruins to appear in the cliffside. This is such a cool mechanic, and I love how it creates parkour that you have limited time to complete, and pressures you to get through ASAP. There are 2 of these sections, allowing you to climb higher and higher into the stage, ending with an encounter against the Goopa Blooper. Yes, it's a refight that really didn't need to be there, I'd have taken another Monty Mole personally, but the concept of these ruins embedded in the cliffs, only visible once sprayed with water, is so genius that I can't not rank the shine that features them that highly. Also, there are a few blue coins in the shine room in some of these pots, so pick them up before you grab the shine, you'll thank me later. 4. Mysterious Hotel Delfino. Despite Serena Beach being one of my least favourite courses overall, I can't ignore that 4 of its shines appear in my A and S tiers. Mysterious Hotel Delfino asks you to find a way into the pool room where the shine awaits. It's currently locked off, so in order to get in there, you have to use the vents. From the downstairs bathroom, you sneak through bathtubs, break through posters, climb through bookshelves, attempting to sneak through all the various rooms of the hotel to find a way into the ceiling. But once up there, you'll notice there are ghosts chilling in the events that block your path, so we have to find a fruit to awaken a Yoshi downstairs, whom we then bring up into the vents to eat the ghosts for us, allowing us to find the ground pound spot to drop into the pool. It's basically an escape room, except we're not trying to escape, we're trying to get to the pool, and I love it. 3. Red Coins of Windmill Village. Am I wild for having the first red coin mission this high in my rankings? It highlights everything I love about a red coin collectathon, a focus on a specific portion of the level that doesn't ask you to go out of your way for any coins, a route that once noticed allows you to speedrun their collection in future playthroughs, fun mechanics like bouncing on the tightropes or shooting these fans to move these bridges to collect more coins, and a shine that spawns right at the tip of the tallest tower asking you to climb high for your reward. I've seen speedruns of this shine and they changed my life. Not to mention, just getting to explore the little village in Bianco Hills while its theme plays in the background, oh, it just brings me back. Even though, again, I never played Mario Sunshine in my childhood. Is that weird? 2. Scrubbing Serena Beach. When you figure out how to shotgun spray, you will never go back. In this shine, we're tasked with clearing off the beachfront in 3 minutes, and once enough of the gunk is cleaned, a shine will spawn. The challenge here is that if you don't know Flood's advanced spray techniques, you have to be very thorough in where and how you spray. I love cleaning the beach. I love that we basically get to play Power Wash Simulator in 2002. There's a primal itch in all of our brains to clean, and Nintendo capitalized. But again, shotgun spray is a game changer, and it alters the chemicals of your body when you see so much cleaned in such a short period of time. This would have actually been my favorite shine in the game, but I wanted my favorite to focus a little more on the core of 3D Mario, which is the platforming. Hence, 1. The Caged Shine Sprite. In the center of Rico Harbor is a massive cage surrounded by a series of construction pylons, metal beams, and trampolines. And your goal is to reach the top of the structure, fall into the hole, and collect your prize by any means necessary. Whether you want to side flip or spin jump off the smokestack onto the upper layers, or you want to take the platforming out into the water, you can. You can also equip the rocket nozzle to boost up quicker if you're confident, and you can even go from the bottom of the level by grabbing onto the lower grate and punching your way into the cage. It's an early shine that asks you to do a lot of precision platforming, and while falling and getting back up can be frustrating, it's also a needed learning experience that helps you get better the next time you play. You have to fail here to improve, especially with Super Mario Sunshine's pretty tricky control scheme. A divisive Mario game that has finally won me over? Am I about to put on my tropical shirt, get some shades, and hit the beach? Fuck no. But I might put Sunshine into my 3D platformer rotation over the years. Let me know which shines are your favorite and least favorite, and I will see you in the next Mario ranking when we take a warp star into outer space, because there are galaxies waiting to be discovered. Adios.